yesterday for the house, I said, okay, I should probably actually test the stove because I hadn't tested it yet. I was like, I need to use the stove. So it's been installed for a while. It's just I never tested it because I was afraid, obviously. So I decided to actually test it. And I decided to actually test it. Thank goodness my mom was with me. It started a huge fire. There was a leak underneath the stove, and flames just came underneath the stove, and it was just like a huge fire under the stove itself, as well as on the burners. And I mean, I quickly turned it off and it dissipated in like 2 seconds, so it wasn't a huge deal. It was just the propane feeding it, but like, holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. I was just like, okay, all right. If I was by myself, I would have completely panicked. But, my mom was there. So I don't remember what happened next. We tried something different, and I told my mom to do it. I was like, Mom, can you do it? I mean, of course I would have done it if she wasn't there, but, she's very, very helpful like that. So she's a protector, So she did it. Oh my God, guns and ammo. There's stores everywhere for guns. Virginia. So my truck's awfully loud. I wonder what the issue is. It's not too high. Anyway, so we realized it was a leak. When I had put it together, of course, I just didn't tighten one of the bolts, one of the washers tight enough. So I went back and tightened it, turned it on, everything worked great. Crisis diverted. I have a working stove. I can make my coffee in the morning. Wonderful. Fast forward to this morning. I get up. The house is a huge disaster. When I got in last night, I was so beyond tired. I had a migraine. It took a really long time driving. I was just like, I hate everything. Like, I just need to eat. I was shaky because I hadn't eaten since 10 in the morning. I was shaky. I was thirsty. I was late to the campground and it was dark. I was afraid I wasn't going to get to my campsite, and then I would have to find like a Target to go park at or something. I was like in a little bit of a panic. I got there. I called, of course they were closed, but I called the, it was like 9:15 maybe, 9 o'clock, and I called the night number, and they were like so nice. And then I forget that I'm not in New Jersey, where everybody's nice. I think I spoke to Kim, her name was, and she was just like, no big deal. Just park in one of the front spots. You're good. Do you have a reservation? You don't have to. It's okay. Just park. I was like, I do, but okay, that makes me feel better. So I ended up parking in one of the spots. Oh, and then this other like camper, I don't know if she actually worked there or not. This other camper, Kathy, came over and she's like, I just want to make sure everything was okay. Let me help you get set up. Here's where your electric is. Here's where the dump is. I was just like, thank you so much. And I forget that people are like, can be really nice in some of these like more southern states. I realize that I don't think Virginia is necessarily the South, but it's south from New Jersey and makes a difference. So I get everything set up. I actually go in the house. It's a complete disaster. You can't move around. A lot of the things shifted in transit. It just it didn't look good. And I was just like, F this. I can't deal with you right now. I need to get my medicine. I need to get some water and some food, and I need to go to bed. So I got myself some hummus and some pretzel chips. Drank a lot of water, called my mom, went to much better. Everything's great. The house is still a huge disaster. I go to make my coffee. Turns on perfect. I had to go turn the propane on outside because I don't drive with it on. Why would you? I turn the propane on. I go and make my coffee. It lights up perfect. So you turn the propane on outside, and then you flip the valve inside, because I was like, let's just make a bunch of shut-off valves just in case. And I go flip the propane valve, turn on my stove, works great. It's a nice flame, nice even flame. I got my water boiling. Oh, it was wonderful. I poured the coffee over in the pour over cup, and I saw smoke. And I'm like, am I seeing things? Is that really smoke? I don't smell a fire. Oh no. Panic, 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 panic. I open the cabinet that I see the smoke under. Sure as shit, there's a fire behind the cabinets. So of course, I'm just like, bolt outside, turn the propane off, and within seconds the fire is gone. And like, lucky, first of all, that I have metal cabinets that don't catch fire and didn't get all my stuff burned. I can't look back there quite yet. I didn't look back there yet because I was afraid it was still hot, to see if it did any damage to like the studs in my wall or anything. I hope not. But you know, we'll see what happens. So that was a scary little instance this morning. And you know, in the back of my mind, not only was I tired and I needed coffee and the house was a mess, but I also hadn't showered. And like, I think most people can understand or appreciate what it's like when you just need a shower and you don't have one and you don't get one, and you're just like, I think I'll feel much better after I shower. And I didn't feel like setting up my outdoor shower because it's like a campsite. Like, I don't think I needed to. There was a bathhouse there. So I like get all my shower caddy stuff. I hate that word caddy, but you know, whatever. And I get my towel, and I start walking around the campsite just like aimlessly, just like, I really hope I can find the shower. I really need to find the shower. Find a map at the front, find the shower. It's perfect. It's like, you know, it's not great, but it's not, you know, it's perfect. It was perfect. Little stall. It's private. There's a lock on the door. Now, to be honest, I could give a fuck. But, you know, it was nice. Go take my shower. Oh, I feel so much better. Go back to the house. Smoke's dissipated. You know, we're good. And now I am officially on the road to pick up my dream pet. More about that in a little bit. Now I'm gonna call my mom and tell her this whole story, because I haven't called her yet. And we'll see what happens. I'm hoping to spend the rest of the afternoon going through DC, but I also forgot that this was Labor Day and like Labor Day weekend. So I'm just like, well, I don't really know if like going in DC is a good move right now, but there's like, I made a list of like, well, I didn't make the list, but I copied the list from Thrillist magazine, maybe, or like Thrillist website. I forget which publication it was, but of like the top 100 pizza places in the U.S., and there was like 3 maybe in Washington D.C., and I was hoping to stop at one of them and have some pizza for lunch, but we'll see what happens. You know, if it's a lot of traffic, it's not worth it. So, but yeah. Oh my God, these little churches are so effing cute. This is rural Virginia, I'll tell you that much. Virginia's a weird state. Very, very weird. But I'm just glad to be here. The journey has officially started. Today's day 2.